is a place where they have definitely put their fingers in terms of the electorate on the scales of justice. They definitely have done it. I think Texas has seen what has happened to states with these large influxes of people. Like if you look at California, California was very conservative up until there was a large influx of younger people. It changed the demographic. Arizona now, Barry Goldwater from Arizona, John McCain from Arizona. Now they have two Democratic senators and a Democratic governor. You would have never seen that before. And what happened is you have these large influxes of people. If you look at what happened in Georgia, and they Raphael Warnock and Joe Lasso, they have two Democratic senators. That would have never happened. But so I think Texas saw all that as like, fuck all that. That ain't happening here. Right. So, and I think they would do it unabashedly. They would do it openly. So I'm not shocked. But this Paxton and Cornyn, I think Cornyn is an example. Like, I think Ted Cruz is probably, I can't tell who's more despicable a person, Ted Cruz or Donald Trump. Like, I think it's that close. And I don't think people like him, but they'll vote for him over anything else. I don't think people like Cornyn. I think he's an unprincipled man. But I think Paxton's, he was impeached, and the only reason he didn't get, and a criminal. So I think MAGA and the Republicans alike, of this iteration of Republicans, are tough on crime, except at the ballot box. I do think what was telling about the race in Texas, because you could always try to read the tea leaves and see what that means for the upcoming elections. I think the Latin population has really done a 180-degree turn on Trump. Like I was performing in Fort Lauderdale, and it's a large Cuban population. And do you remember when Cubans thought they were just talking to Mexicans?
Yes.
Vote for Donald Trump.
You remember when they thought, oh, it's those guys? This is what people don't understand. I think 50-some% of Latin men voted for Trump, right? And 40-some% of Latin women. And I really think they believed because what I heard him saying during the election matched what I was seeing. But apparently a lot of people heard it differently. I think that I'd watch the border czar talk about deporting whole families. So I wasn't shocked about the way, the ham-handed way and the abusive way that they went about, deporting people. They said we're going to deport them all. That was it. And I don't think I was shocked by anything. But I think a lot of people, if you look at a lot of Latin people, they were shocked at how, when they said we're only going to deport the good people, people don't understand your language and your skin is your crime. Mm. Speaking Spanish and being brown is your crime. I think that we are now in a situation where people have learned a very hard lesson, and that's that this country didn't lie to them. I think they heard what they wanted to hear, and I think now there are a lot of people. I think she's Colombian, and she was a staunch Trumper. And her son, at the time of this particular broadcast, had been in a detention center 30, 40 days. So I just think, that it's a shame. Like, for us, we call it a nigga wake-up call. I don't know what you call it to that. I don't know what you call it for them. Really. So Texas is very interesting. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Of course, we know there's a runoff between Senator Cornyn and criminal Paxton. Like, it's so funny to hear Republicans go on about fraud, but they have no problem voting for it. Like, they hate DEI. Texas right now, the governor of Texas is Greg Abbott. Now, this is the funny thing. This is such a conundrum because he happens to be in a wheelchair, but he despises DEI. And DEI gave him the very wheelchair ramps and access he needs to get up to his office and write laws discriminating against other people. He doesn't like gay people or like transgender people because they pee standing up, and he can't pee standing up. I'm like, you literally need to sit this one out. Tellerico and Crockett were running for, to be the nominee for the Democrats. And I got to tell you, I love Jasmine Crockett. She is your sorority sister.
She's a Delta.
And I think she was a great candidate, but I'm not shocked that the white guy won. And I don't even think, this is one time I don't even ascribe it as much to race. I'm sure that plays into it to some degree. But I think after watching a competent woman in Hillary Clinton get beat and then watching what happened to Kamala, I think people were gun shy. And they think now the way to win is to give the country what they said. Like, I call Trump Ike because he only beats girls. But I think wherever the country is, Texas is a little bit behind that. So I wasn't shocked. I was hopeful as always, but I wasn't shocked that she didn't win. And I got to tell you, I didn't dislike Tellerico. Like, I can't vote in that. But I can't vote in that. But I didn't dislike him. The first time I saw him, I think I saw him. You pointed him out to me, Jasmine, on Bill Maher show, and I thought he was a televangelist. Like, I thought he was just a guy who had a mega church somewhere. And the difference between him and the other, like, people on the right wing of evangelists is that he likes women. Like, I'm not even lying. Like when church. The black church is the gayest place on the face of the earth. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, most dudes who go to church that fervently are trying to play the love of dick out of their heart. They really are. Like, I'm so I'm not. But I thought he was
RuPaul's Drag Church.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, well, since I'm on my knees anyway, I might as well pray. Like,
Somebody help us.
but I thought he was one of those the televangelists. But then I saw him on Bill Maher, and then I saw him somewhere else. And the thing is, he sounds like Christians are supposed to sound. And I think that, and we said this last week, if you're going, it would be political malpractice to not give the potential electorate what they want. And what they have said over and over again, we don't want women, we don't want black people, we don't want it, we want straight white dudes. And that's pretty much it. And I think a lot of people, I think they had an affinity for Jasmine, as I did. But I think they were probably, given the events of the last, it was devastating after Kamala lost for a lot of people. And I think particularly a lot of people that look like you, Sanders.
Well, it was very devastating for black women.
So I think everybody's hedging their bets now. Like, I'm gonna go.
Well, what do you say to the fact that now Jasmine Crockett is planning to file a lawsuit over voter suppression that she says played a part in her loss?
Well, let's be clear. Texas
said we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that.
All right. He also felt strongly about the Central Park 5.
He did indeed.
I don't know when he's been right. He also felt strongly about, January 6th.
Obama's birth certificate.
Or Obama's birth certificate. So I think that Donald Trump, and I think it's not disingenuous to say this, is a liar. He lies when the truth will do. This is an old adage, and I don't think it's just him specifically in this instance. But the American president, when poll numbers is down, always bombs somebody black or brown. This nation claims that it's tired of war, that it's tired of these interdictions and tired of being involved in all these foreign wars, but the people never rise up. And I think the one thing, whether you believe in this or not, because all it takes is a bomb to be dropped, and then all of a sudden, whatever stance you had before fades away, because there are a lot of people who supposedly voted for him because they thought that there would be no more new wars. And look how many he started. The very thing he's doing in Iran right now, he tore up the agreement that Obama wrote because he didn't want this nigga to have wrote nothing. You can say whatever. I argue with that dude on TMZ for the same thing. You tear these things up. You don't have something in place. Then you bombed them in June of last year, and you told us you obliterate their nuclear capacity, and now you're doing the exact same thing all over again. But I do think that it was whether you like what happened or not, there is no doubt that it wasn't well thought out, because there are soldiers that are in danger because the structures that they're hiding in or that they're placed in aren't fortified. There's a lot of American people who can't leave. They weren't given a heads up. They couldn't get out. They weren't warned to get out because for any number of reasons and now so you have a lot of people that are trapped, and there's no. One day, Marco Rubio says it's this. Marco Rubio says it's this. Donald Trump says it's this. This is a war looking to source for a reason. And the one thing is, when you don't find these weapons, when we find out, whether it was like, what happened in Iraq, we don't never apologize. There are hundreds of thousands of people that are dead. In the Iraq war, there were more concussive brain injuries than any time in history. There were more amputees in that war than any time since the Civil War. The one great thing that comes out of war is medical advancement. Like a lot of those injuries, those concussive brain injuries would have killed a lot of people, but those surgeons and those doctors became so good, people that are living now that wouldn't have been before. People think that it's might that wins. But look at the way the world's rejoicing, or people are rejoicing because Khomeini's dead. You don't think it's going to be a party or two when Trump kicks a bucket? You literally don't know how hated he is. You don't understand how, when that dude dies, Footloose is going to look like a high school prom. And so I think that we tend to view things through our prism. But the one unassailable truth is that we have killed a lot of people from that part of the world, whether it's bin Laden or Khomeini or Gaddafi, people from this terrorist group or that terrorist group. But we've killed, people who were first in line and second in line, and people who are emerging and terrorists. We've killed a lot of people from that part of the world. And if you could murder your way to freedom, we'd have done it. You can't kill your way to peace, because all of these people have people behind them who want. What do you think is going to be the net result of people that grew up in Iran and saw a school that got obliterated with 150 school children? Or that saw their leader get killed? People do not understand. Bombs and bullets kill people, never ideals. They never do. If that works true, this would already be over. And we can have any number of experts talk about what's happening here, but ultimately it's this. It is powerful white dudes who want a resource and want to take it, but want to look like they're altruistic in it. Like, we're going to pretend like we want you to have freedom, but really we want this oil. Right. We do. We don't give a shit about any of that. We want your natural resources. If more dinosaurs had died here than died over there, we wouldn't be having this conflict. Everything we're seeing right now, we've seen before. Even in this particular war, we displaced the leader and put the Shah in. And then they rose up. That you saw Argo. Then they rose up.
That's true.
That wasn't just. Then they rose up and displaced him, and then he had to leave, because what he did is he took all the money and tortured the people, and they hated him, and he was an American puppet, and they hated him. Then they replaced him with an Ayatollah. But we've seen this movie before.
And it should be noted that Iran actually had the first democracy in the Middle East.
Sure.
With Mossadegh.
But it's really kind of an interesting place we find ourselves in, because nothing is happening differently. It's like watching the Titanic 19 times and hoping the boat don't sink. Hey, now, welcome to Absurdity. We're at it again. I want to get to something we did last week. Last week we talked about Dr. Umar Johnson. Honestly, I don't think you can be a doctor unless you have an office. Just like I don't think you can be a preacher unless you have a church. Like Dr. Scholl's is a doctor, Dr. Pepper's a doctor, Dr. Dre is a doctor. But what started the conversation, I didn't just come out of nowhere. I didn't just put it out in my ass. Umar said this.
I did not vote for Kamala Harris. I did not vote for Donald Trump. I didn't hear a single solution from the Democratic Party nominee or the Republican Party nominee when it came to miseducation, mass incarceration, gentrification, police brutality, or economic apartheid. So I had no reason to vote.
The reason why men like that, all men like that, live in a nation or thrive in a nation is because we're a nation that reads at the 5th or 6th grade level. And we said this last week, only children or juvenile mindsets, they believe in absolutes. And I stand by what I said. And anybody who believes in that is too stupid to talk to me anyway. So I don't.